Hello. What do you know? It's got a new look. It looks pixelated or something, but I'm back to my man closet. Switch things around, opposite. Um, Earlier in the day, so I better do it. Better get it done. I'm on this isn't a desk. This is like I got my computer, my laptop up on I don't know if it's a shelf. My wife's sewing machine's on here and something else, but it works pretty good for a tight space. I didn't want to use a card table. That wouldn't work too good. Thumbnail, I'm doing something with my hair because it's sticking up right in the middle, but it's live and direct. So let's start with the board. Number one, Schoolhouse album sales, which is this, along with, brought to you by Goodyear Productions. I want to give a shout out to my long lost kitty, Boosket. Boots. We have a virus happening, and all I can think about was, everyone's wearing masks. Not everyone. Some are, some aren't. You couldn't get her to wear a collar. She wouldn't wear it. She's too feisty. I kind of like my dad. He was very feisty. I'm not really trying to be stubborn or like that, but the idea for me to wear a mask, like don't worry about this virus. With me, we had smoke in the air. I hated the smoke to this day. When I smell someone burning a fireplace, I'm kind of traumatized by it because the smell of smoke is terrible to me because of the wildfires. Maybe I did talk about that, maybe not. We didn't really have it this last summer, thank God. Happy Easter, by the way. He is risen. Praise the Lord. He is risen. Never forget that. You don't think so? Do your research. All right. So yeah, I can't, if I was doing surgery, and I'm in a situation where I have to, yeah, but I saw the video of someone getting pulled off a bus in Philadelphia for not wearing a mask, and then they had to cheat. And this is the biggest victory I've heard about since this thing has started, by the way. They were requiring people to wear masks on the bus. This is where, I'm surprised they weren't driving around homeless camps forcing people to wear masks. But they pulled a guy off the bus. They drugged the guy off. They were roughing him up. And then they realized this is bad, so, okay, now we're not going to force you to wear it. So this is we found how far the pushing will go before pushback can happen, or a public outcry gets to the point of, okay, because that's up until now, it's been seeding ground, just retreat till we're all broke and destitute. I just knocked over this poster. This is I don't know where it'll fit. Kina Cunha books, my one concert. Wasn't many seats, so it was almost standing room only. Anyway, so that was, this is just miserable to me. This is it's not what I'm about for sure. Because let's put it like this: if we all had to go around, stay in our house, wear a mask, why live? At what point is it just not worth living? And you just go out and see what happens. Seriously. That's what I think about. I'm like, what point do you say, if I got to go around with a mask the rest of my life, if I got, at what point? You can talk about jobs not paying your bills, but is it even worth living if you got to go around with a mask the rest of your life and stay 6 feet away from people the rest of your life and never go to church the rest of your life? Is it even worth living? Honestly, I've been asking myself that. What's the point? I got to know. What point do we just say, I'm going to take the risk? And I like to go to compare automobile accidents, which there are none now because no one's driving. But in general, you're taking a calculated risk when you drive an automobile and when you go outside and there's cars going around. Someone's going to die. That's just what the stats say. Okay. So there's got to be a cost benefit analysis here, a strong one, instead of just shut everything down and then we'll run the cost benefit analysis. That's what I've seen. I've seen them shut everything, but that as a collector, I would have to redo everything for my hip hop collection. So for me as a hip hop music collector through the late 80s, 90s, 2000s, and even until now, it's been CDs. So that's what I'm selling. My Reformation music video, number 2, on pause. Number 3, worship song, on pause. Number 4, YouTube channel. I made an effort to improve it by getting a selfie light, and that was a bust. Thing was $10. I thought, why not? I think if you're in the pure dark, it could help you. But in this kind of lighting, it didn't. Just so I can keep me, the music connoisseur, happy to make the songs I want to make that have been in my head forever. I've got 10 out. I've got multiple to go. Complete songs I made lyrics for on YouTube. Like I said, I got this fellow to record with, but I can't afford to do it based on I'm a pay as I go. There's nothing unless the number 8 Trump's gonna thump brings in some revenue. Let me just talk about this song for a second. All right. And the shelf life of things in politics are very short. Now, thankfully, as I wrote this song, it is Biden with the nomination. Why do I say thankfully? Well, for the longest time, before it's interesting. Before there was a single caucus or primary, it looked like if you read the polls, it's going to be Biden. And then for a minute, it looked like, oh, Biden's not. He might even get out of the race. And then South Carolina saves him and he comes back. I haven't been paying any attention to Democratic primaries since pretty much this virus. And I don't know. I just haven't been hearing about it as much. And then all of a sudden, Bernie's out. So it's just Biden now. And we're in April. Seems pretty early to be down to 1. But that's what it is. And I didn't follow state by state. I can go back and look, but mention Burisma in there. There are no Trump rallies. If we're to go with this virus, winners and losers of the virus, if it's even real, or if it is real, because I checked out David Icke, got interested in what he has to say, but man, it's not easy to follow. You got this inventor of the email. It's not that easy to follow. You got to sit here and stop your life and study hard, and you can't explain it to someone else that easily. So it's like, what do you do? Like we got on InfoWars, the fellow who predicted in 2018 that there would be a 5G plus the virus combined. 5G lowers the immune system, in comes the virus. They were talking about something coming from Wuhan, China in 2018. It's in the archives. It was recorded, and then the dude had to disappear after he made that. And he started talking about it. He had to go underground. Families getting threats. What can you do? So, I don't really want to get into all those things, but as it stands right now with the song, no one's talking about impeachment. That's gone. Okay, no one's saying anything about that. This is actually, on some level, the least. I don't know. I guess I haven't been watching. I seem like I haven't been following politics near as much as I even used to. In some ways, I haven't been doing fantasy. I just haven't been on the computer as much. Bellevue Ballers kind of supplanted a lot of politics and a lot of fantasy, no sports. Hearing that they're going to do games and empty stadiums, which is what they need to do. I think they could do home run derbies. I think they do dunk contests. Competition's good. People want stuff to follow. But their football is the sport. Okay, so that's one. So if you're talking, you're not going to have. They want to have empty stadiums. So the Trump rally, it's kind of how it's like taking the audience out of the debates when they were pumping Nuda back in the day. That's the only thing that comes to my mind. Here you've taken away the rallies, and you've sucked the wind out of Bernie. I mean, the deep state, I think if you think about it, and I was thinking, okay, Bernie's gone and the rallies are gone. And here's Biden. He's their guy. He's their, I mean, here, he could literally, can you imagine a puppet thing with that dude's face and that wooden mouth? I mean, it looks like it would be pretty easy to make. Anyway. Number 9, quick look over on that song. That song shouldn't take that long, and I think Dale can sing it, and we'll all be good. And then 10, I guess I can look at this number 10 social distancing challenge. I guess once I'm wrapped those 2 songs up, if that's still around, I need to check. Just see, just to see if we're going to do something with that, if I'm going to do something, because it's something I can do by myself, I think. So a lot of it is what am I capable of doing? With God's help, of course, but man's help very limited at this point. And of course, God can put people in my life if I'm hip to it and we can connect. I heard in the group I'm with, there's a songwriter. So you've all connected songwriter. Maybe I can find out Tracy or somebody. I mean, how do we even meet people right now? But just to meet a like-minded songwriter would be an exciting thing. I think I've covered enough of kind of what I'm doing. So now for politics, this actually is an interesting song. We're doing the song of the deal with the dubious, and I've got to tell you, I'm excited about this song. This song is more exciting than I hope. I got this microphone back. I hope I'm okay. I'm not going to hold it up here. I'm not going to sit up there. Military spending. Well, that's pretty much opinion. Cutting taxes should create more incentive for business growth. So the free market person would say, I mean, are you saying by raising taxes, you can go, that's an old debate, and you're either, but according to this thing, we owe Japan 1.2 trillion. Our national debt somewhere in the neighborhood of 25 trillion, maybe 7 trillion is government, intra-government debt, if these numbers are correct. And 17 trillion is public debt, the taxpayers. It's all us though. Even the government debt's us, so we owe all of it. And then we borrowed, I guess, 1 trillion from China, and we borrowed 1.2 trillion from Japan. So we owe the most money to Japan. Now, one thing I was starting to think about was, why is it we're providing military aid, and I hope they're paying for that, but can we work out a deal here? They're our ally, and we owe like United Kingdom like 370 billion or something. That is, I mean, relative to 17 trillion, it's not a ton, but just if you're going to shrink the debt, what is the United Kingdom's contribution to NATO and to military and whatnot? So for that, if you want to talk about military spending, yeah, I won't argue with you. If we're spending money for military, for countries, and we're also borrowing money from them, I can't see the sense in that. So what is it going to be? We're going to borrow money. You're going to pay for it. So we're not borrowing. Are we borrowing? Let's ask the question. Are we borrowing money from China? I'm sorry. Let's focus on allies. Japan and the United Kingdom to help pay for the military that so they'll be friendlier to you, and you can, instead of having a real conflict, your business partners, and then maybe you can find common ground politically and all these other things. It's just like what Trump's working on. I think it's a similar method that he was trying with North Korea. Now, we haven't heard anything about it, but last time I checked, they're not building hotels, and someone thinks he would want something like that. If you look at the types of businesses he has, no way. So the Union weren't getting along back then, and then so I guess America was trying to get along. We're really at odds with Soviet Union. So if we had to choose, I guess we'd go with China. We didn't go to and had the stadium went crazy. They don't have a situation like that in China where he could walk into a stadium. So and stuff, especially when it's not an even trade, and then they say they steal our technology or whatever. So there's not a well intendedness coming from them. It would appear. And so, and Trump has been saying for way back in the day, for sure, on the record, when he's on TV shows in the 80s talking about China, why are we letting China rip us off? So that's kind of what this is about when they're hostile towards us. Is it because we don't want them to be like North Korea? And apart from, but it's too late. Even if we stop doing business with China, they're going to do business with everyone else who's willing to do business with them. Now, Venezuela, Iran, anywhere's going to do business with China, and they'll do business with anybody. They don't put any restrictions on your humanitarian record, your environmental record. They don't care clearly. But if there's people that say, well, we got to save the planet and all that, why? And so that's why I heard that people, both sides of the political spectrum, and everyone in between are kind of thinking, what's up with just setting the stage? I don't know what I'm going to say in here, but I like the way I'm saying it. So let me at least add to it and see what I can get done. And very irritating. I'll see what I can get done in a couple minutes. I think I want to stick on this. So if I say a deal with the dubious, diabolical, a deal with the diabolical, deal that's dubious, diabolical. Maybe I'll do it that way. A deal that's dubious, diabolical. To deal with the dubious. To deal with the dubious. To deal with the diabolical. Oh, I gotta say, one more. We gotta continue to pray for Leon, Underground Bible Scholar. I've been trying to understand how he's doing again. And when I hear things like this thing is rigged or something, I almost think he got set up. He's on this ventilator. I pray, God, I pray with everything I have, please, Lord, spare my brother Leon. I beg you. And especially, and I understand people are well intended often, but a misstep, I can't imagine a misstep. Anyway, what's in your hands, I pray for a deliverance of pure, clean health for Leon. I think by another couple of days, we should see that he's breathing on his own, claiming that he's going to be breathing on his own. Hallelujah. And starting the process of coming back. In Jesus' name, I pray. Amen. I want to share him with you. He's studied for years. He's been such a blessing to me and what he's done, the time he's poured into it. And if God will spare him, he can. And I want to share him with you on this earth through this venue as I continue to go forward, because he wants to share. I would love to share them. It might just be 5 people, might be one, but he's got something to share. He's earned it through his diligent study. I just pray for healing for him. To deal with the diabolical, dubious. I guess I could say oblivious. Are are our leaders oblivious? Oh man, I have to look up how to spell that. And I'm done for the day. I'll be back. Diabolical. See where I'm headed. Till next time, back to the rhymes, and I'll make sure I have oblivious spelled correctly.